Good afternoon and happy Bank Holiday Monday. So I am down in Tunbridge at the moment, so about a 15-minute drive away from where I live in Tunbridge Wells, because I'm going to be doing the Tunbridge Wells Harriers Track Mile Championship this afternoon. However, I also need to do some mileage, so I've come down early to do a longish, probably 10 or 11 mile run beforehand as a warm-up. As I said, I don't know whether that's going to be sensible or not, because it's pretty warm. I think it's at 24, 25 degrees. So this may not be my most sensible move, but as I've said all along, marathon training is the priority, not the mile race. The mile race will just be a bit of fun, and it'd be nice to see some of the Harrier gang. But yeah, so I'm just setting off on my longish run now. Be about, I don't know, 90 minutes I guess before I get back. One of the benefits to running down here in Tunbridge actually is it's so much flatter. So this is actually part of the parkrun route I'm just coming up to. But yeah, it's there's very few undulations, so I'll probably just run out down by the river for a bit and then turn back. But yeah, as I said, beautiful day, probably a bit warm, but you know, you can't have it all. It's also a glorious, you know, August bank holiday, so it is nice to have good weather. So I'm about 4 miles in, and I seem to have found this lovely little sort of green path just off the main river route. I've got absolutely no idea where I'm going, but I can see public footpath signs, so I'm just going to follow it. I have been trying to stick to shaded areas where possible, so along the river was quite nice, so this is quite exposed, but it's beautiful. Well, it turns out, running through that field, I came up a footpath and then hit a road, which had no pavements, and given I'm not wearing any high vis and I've got absolutely no idea where I am, I decided to turn around, which I think was probably the sensible approach. So I'm about to go back through the field again and see if I can get back down by the river. So I seem to have come out by some sort of lake. I really don't know where I am, which is good, but I know I can find my way back. But yeah, I'll have to have a look on Strava later and see out which lake this is, because I don't recognise it. So I'm just coming back into Tunbridge now, so I'm about 8.2 miles, so probably just going to do a few loops and then I will be home. Should probably clarify when I say loops as well. Loops of the park, where I do park run, and when I say home, I mean back to my car where the track meet is. So yeah, I'll done, I don't know, 10 and a half I reckon by the time I get back, which is pretty good, given that I can then go around run an all-out mile, which is looking less and less appealing, I'll be honest, but I'm in now, so we'll just have to give it a good go. Woo. Okay, so that is my long-ish run done, just under 11 miles, just under an hour and a half, so yeah, and now I've got about 50 minutes until my race. So I'm in with the senior men and the M40s, looking at the heat, looking at the field. Like, I will do very well to not finish in the bottom three. It is a stacked old field, some quick people. My legs feel warm. What they'll feel like in 50 minutes, who knows? But they feel pretty good at the moment. It is getting toasty out there as well, so I was certainly feeling the heat over those last couple of miles. But glad I've done it. And like I said, no real expectations. I think I'm going to have to adapt to the heat. I think I said either in last week's video or earlier on that it'd be nice to run around 5:20. But I think given the heat, probably 5:30 might be more realistic. But you never know, do you? So, right. Anyway, there's quite a lot of Harriers down there, so I'm going to go and say hello. Get lots of water on board, and yeah, go again.
I don't have to look no further, 'cause I've reached my destination.
So I'm just on my way back to the car. So after the event I went to the pub with some of the Harriers guys, but I ran a 5:24.88, so I was really pleased with that actually. I think I'd said in the video just before that sort of 5:30 would be good, so I was pleased to go under that, and felt pretty comfortable actually. I probably should have maybe gone off at a slightly quicker pace and tried to stick with the first group, but I didn't, and then I couldn't quite keep up with the kick of a couple of guys at the end. But yeah, all in all, enjoyed it. Would definitely should do track again, just maybe not after nearly an 11-mile warm-up. Good evening and happy Tuesday. So I was meant to be doing intervals this evening, but I have come down with Lurgy. I don't feel dreadful, but I don't feel brilliant either. So I went to London this morning, so I was in the office this morning, and I just started feeling progressively worse throughout the morning, like more and more bunged up and like headachy. Thankfully, I only had a couple of meetings this afternoon, which I managed to move around, and I actually came home and worked from home at lunchtime, just because it meant I could just sort of get in my comfies. It also meant I wasn't spreading my germs around the office, which I don't think any of my team really appreciated. So I've been at home this afternoon. I said I was meant to be doing intervals tonight, but I really don't feel up to it, and sometimes you just got to listen to your body, haven't you? Hopefully it isn't anything, more than just a heavy cold, and I'll be okay again. Ideally I'd like to be able to run again tomorrow. We've got the Harriers Memorial Relays tomorrow night, which is like a 2.5k relay race in teams of 3 that they do every year, and then they sort of stick around and have pizzas and stuff afterwards. So plan is to get a really early night tonight. I was meant to be in London again tomorrow, but I think I probably won't go, and I'll probably just rest and give myself a bit of a lie-in tomorrow morning and try and battle this. As I said, don't feel dreadful, but don't feel great. And the good thing is about my work is, a lot of my meetings are calls, so it isn't the end of the world if I don't go in. I actually do prefer going into London, but I also don't think it's worth pushing it at the moment. So yeah, there we go. So not ideal, but it is what it is. Also, what I thought I would update you on was, I think I said that my PB mile was 5:11 previously. Well, I lied to you. I went back through my Strava, actually, it was 5:16. So to run a 5:24 yesterday, only 8 seconds off a PB in that heat, and probably not peak fitness wise, actually I'm even more pleased. So so that really good result, really enjoyed it yesterday, and I'll hopefully do a bit more track in the future, although track season's ending now, so it'll have to be next year. But right, anyway, I will go, and fingers crossed an early night will sort me out and I'll be right as rain again tomorrow. Cheers, bye. Good evening and happy Wednesday. So as you can see, I am running, so I've risen from my deathbed, and I'm actually feeling much better today, so which is good. So I'm just down, I've come down to Tunbridge Wells Cricket Club, which is where we run from. I've come down a little bit early actually, because I want to get some mileage in before the run this evening. So I'm planning to do about an hour of easy-ish running, and then I'm going to head down to the Memorial Relays later on. So yeah, that starts at about 7:30ish. But yeah, if I can get an hour in beforehand, that'd be great. So yeah, let's go. So the Memorial Relays tonight, so that's a once-a-year event, always hosted sort of late August. I've only done it once before actually, which was a couple of years ago. I couldn't do it last year, but it's a really nice way to remember kind of Harriers that are no longer with us. So there's a bit of a silence before the race, and then it's just a fun social event, and then pizzas and drinks and things afterwards. So yeah, it's a happy occasion. But I ran, like I said, I did it 2 years ago. I don't think it's quite 2.5k, because when I looked at my time, I think I did 8:20. I can tell you now that I was not running sub 17 pace for any distance 2 years ago. So it's probably more like 2.2, 2.3k. So it'd be nice if I could go under that tonight, but let's wait and see. I've always got the Lurgy card if I do need to play it. But yeah, so I've picked a bad route here. This is quite a steep hill. I'm gonna get going. Oh, right, so there we go. So that's warm up done. It is just gone 7:10. So I'm all checked in for the relays. I've got my barcode. I did 7.5 mile warm up, and I did a couple of quick miles at the end just to get the legs really turning over for tonight. It's just started to rain. It's looking quite miserable out there. So it's going to be, it's going to be a wet race. Unfortunately, the time I did it a couple of years ago, it was glorious sunshine. It was lovely. Everyone was outside having drinks and pizza. I don't think it's going to be quite the same vibe tonight, but nonetheless, there's quite a lot of people already gathered. So I've said hello to a few people, quite a few that we did the track on Monday as well. So that's another excuse I can use. I've still got tired legs from Monday, but there's also quite a lot of quick people here tonight as well. So yeah, but it's all done. Basically, you put in a team with 2 others and they try and mix it so that the abilities are broadly, people would come in about the same time over the through, so you'll have quicker people, slower people in a team to try and make it as even as you can. But obviously there's no exact science to it, so ultimately there is always going to be a couple of teams that are going to be quicker and a couple of teams that are going to be much slower. But yeah, right, I'm going to go and see how I get on. So like I said, in my head, 8:20 is the time to beat. That's what I did 2 years ago. But, you know, let's get all the excuses in now. It's wet, tired legs from Monday, bit of Lurgy, did a 7.5 mile warm up. Oh dear, never mind. Right, I will see you later.
Side streets, we've got marshals, you can see Colin and Martin, go through the gap in the hedge.
Turn out. Starting to get a little bit crazy now. So there we go. That is the memorial relays done. So I was in a team with 2 ladies called Alex and Lucy. I've met Lucy before, but I hadn't met Alex. I ran the 3rd leg, so obviously the sort of the catch-up leg at the end. I don't know where we finished yet, so the results will come out in a bit, but I think we were 5th or 6th in the end. And I ran an 8:02 according to Strava. Again, I'll wait for the official time, so that's nice to know that I ran 18 seconds quicker than I did this last time. It's funny old course, you think it's 2.3k actually on Strava, and you think, oh, it's 2 laps, it's sort of a k-ish per lap, so it's fairly hard, but there's just this one little uphill drag that when you go around it for the second time is an absolute killer. And I set off way too quickly, so, but yeah, other than that, pleased with the time, 8:02, so I think we did pretty well as a team as well, so all in all, decent. Did 7.5 miles earlier, So now I am going to go and have some pizza, have a little catch up with a few people, and then head home. But all in all, a nice evening, and the weather stayed all right. There was a few little showers, but for the most part we got away with it. So yeah, right, we'll see you later. Good evening. So I am back from the memorial relays, and I've just got back. I had a couple of slices of pizza and a quick drink with some of the guys and gals at the Harriers afterwards. Had a little chat and then came home, and then just had a little bit more leftover food, pasta, when I got back because I was still a bit peckish. But yeah, I thought I'd sort of summarise actually. So I came 4th individual. With a time of 8:02, which I was really pleased with. When I looked at the field of people and some of the guys that I ran with on Monday that beat me at the track on Monday, to run 4th individual time I was really pleased with, and I was only 1 second off Patrick in 3rd. So yeah, really delighted with that. Team wise as well, we were 8th out of 25. I think I said 5th or 6th in the video, but yeah, it's difficult to kind of know where you are in the sort of relay side of things. But yeah, we came 8th out of 25, so that makes us just in the top third of the teams as well, in a time I think we were 29:01 in total. So yeah, but I was just reflecting really on kind of like how much better I run when I'm kind of under less pressure, and I think I'm almost like a bit intimidated sometimes. So I think on Monday at the track, when I saw like all the people around me and I knew that they were all quick, and it was a bit of imposter syndrome, and I don't feel like I ran a particularly good race because I just thought I couldn't beat them. But today, because I was on the 3rd leg and Lucy and my team came in, and there was quite a big gap between me going out and sort of around anybody else, and so I sort of didn't feel any pressure. I just sort of ran to feel and ran to what I thought I could run, and even though I knew there were quicker people behind me, in front of me, like it was different, and I kind of ran my own race, and I actually ran quicker as a pace. So I think I ran 3:29 per k for what was essentially a 1.5 miles tonight. And I think I ran sort of probably similar or slightly slower on Monday on a track. But I think that's because I was sort of a bit intimidated, and I didn't run my own race. So like I said, it gave me a lot of confidence. I think in terms of that's what I've just got to be really clear in terms of when I am doing these races, that don't compare yourself to other people. People will have good days, people will have bad days. I'm not an elite athlete. I'm very unlikely to win any races. I am really just racing against myself. And so I kind of need to get out my own head and just run, like I said, my own race. So that was my learning for today. But I had a really nice evening. It was nice to catch up with people. A couple of people said they've been watching the vlogs as well, so that's nice. And I am going to maybe do a double day tomorrow. I'll see how I feel. I'm at home again. I'm in London on Friday, so I might try and get some mileage up because we're flying to Spain on Saturday, so I'm not going to be able to run on Saturday, I don't think. So yeah, maybe double tomorrow. Anyway, right, it's getting late and I'm getting weary, so I'm going to go to bed. All right, night. Good evening and happy Thursday. I have a guest appearance this evening because it was really wet at lunchtime. We tried to get out for a walk and he was having none of it. But then he was looking at me forlornly afterwards, so I'm going to do a quick little shakeout with this one, probably just a couple of k, get him some exercise, and then I'm going to go back and do a longer session. But yes, so first dog jog for a little while. So yeah, as you'll have noticed, I did not get out this morning, so double day was not the one. I was really sort of quite weary when I woke up this morning. I think got back quite late from the relays last night, and then even though I was feeling quite weary, just struggled to drop off, so I ended up reading till probably almost midnight. yeah, just wasn't feeling it this morning, so again just decided to listen to the body and had a fairly chilled day. Well, not chilled, I've been at work, but not running. And yeah, I'm just out. Like I said, I'm just going to do a couple of K with this one and then drop him off, and then I'll see what I'm doing, how I'm doing time wise, and I'll go out and do a slightly more strenuous session after that. Good boy. Right, round 2. So I dropped Ed back off at home. We actually ended up doing just under 3 miles, so about 4.7k, I reckon. I mean, he does parkrun with Claire on a Saturday, so he's used to that sort of distance. But yeah, at least I managed to get him out for some exercise, and he stopped quite a bit for sniffs and wheeze, so it wasn't the quickest, but hey ho. And now I am just going back out for a very easy 4 or 5 additional miles. Being Thursday, again, previous weeks I've done sort of hills or intervals, but because I've had 2 hard sessions already this week with the track session on Monday and then the relays last night, I don't think another hard hills or intervals is the way forwards tonight, so just gonna go out, get a bit of easy mileage, just get some mileage in the legs I should say, and then back home dinner, and then London tomorrow. So I think it's probably an early run tomorrow morning because I won't be able to run at lunchtime because of meetings, so yeah, early start. Right, I've gone a little bit Forrest Gump because I'm already 8 miles into this run, although that does include the sort of 3 with Ted beforehand, but I wasn't planning on doing that far this evening, and I've probably got another 1.5 miles, maybe a bit more to go, so be around about 10 miles, but that's fine. My legs feel fine. I just got a bit carried away. I'm also conscious of kind of how much running I can do over the next few days with London and travel day on Saturday, etc. So maybe it's not a bad thing, but yeah, so it'll be about 10 miles by the time I get home, and then straight on dinner duty. Right, I'll speak to you tomorrow. Bye. Good evening and happy Friday. So I have just got back from London and decided to get myself out for just a quick shakeout, as I didn't get out before work this morning. Again, I just didn't sleep very well last night. I haven't slept well particularly this week. I'm not drinking. I'm not drinking much caffeine. I'm exercising. I'm eating all right. Don't know why. I'm just not sleeping very well. So yeah, so I afforded myself another kind of hour in bed before going into London this morning, rather than getting up and going for a run. And yeah, I've managed to get back in time to get out before the light dies, which is nice. So easy one, probably 4 or 5 miles, just a shakeout. And by getting out tonight, it probably means that I won't go out tomorrow morning, because we're getting picked up at the airport at 20 to 8, so might be a bit tight with everything else to also go for a run. So if I do tonight, I'll feel better about that. So yeah, 4, maybe 5 miles easy. So after I stopped filming on my run yesterday, I got a notification to say one of my Strava CRs had been broken, and it was actually broken by Ian, who I'd been coaching, and apparently he'd made it his mission to go and break a particular segment on Strava record that I held. And fortuitously, as I checked my phone at the end of the run, I was literally running past the start of the segment, so I went and nabbed it back, and he held it for less than an hour. Poor Ian. Unfortunately, I couldn't actually film said segment attempt because it was it was all out. So my average pace for the segment, even though it was only a 0.2 miles, was 4 minutes 59 per mile. Now I know, like, you know, that's not particularly quick for some people, but it's pretty quick for me. So I think I did the segment in 1 minute 5, and he'd just done it in 1 minute 10 earlier in the day, so I think he held the record for about an hour. That'll teach him. But probably wasn't what I needed really after a 10-mile run and a couple of hard sessions over this week already, but you know, felt good to go back and reclaim it. So whilst I'm out on my my run this evening, Claire is taking Ted on his holidays as well, so he's off to stay with Claire's mum for the week. She loves having him, so it's quite nice. She hasn't got any pets herself, so they get on really well. He obviously gets looked after and treated and spoilt when he's with her, so that's nice. And it means he gets sort of the familiarity rather than being in sort of kennels or any kind of other sort of boarding situation, which is fine. Like, I've done that with dogs before, but when you've got a willing relative, it's always just a bit nicer, isn't it? So yeah, so he's on his way there, and then we'll get him when we come back next weekend. As we're, like I said, we're off fairly early in the morning. So plan for, I was going to say the rest of the week then, but no, for Spain is try and do a long run on Sunday, when obviously we arrive Saturday afternoon. It's still going to be very warm out there, so looking at the temperatures, it's still sort of 33, 34 degrees in the south of Spain, so my plan is to try and get out early every morning really. So ideally somewhere between 18 and 20 miles on Sunday morning, but as I said, getting out nice and early to try and beat the heat as best I can. And then next week I'm working Monday to Wednesday, but obviously there's an hour time difference, so again it'll be getting up early-ish and trying to beat the heat. But I'm planning on having a big mileage week next week, because I always find it easier to go when I'm on holiday. I tend to wake up a bit earlier anyway. So yeah, I think I'll be aiming sort of between sort of 57 and 60 miles next week, to try and get it as like a peak week. There's some good hills around there as well, so I should be able to do some decent hill training. But obviously we'll document it all, I'm sure, assuming I remember all the right leads and charges, etc. for the GoPro. But yeah, looking forward to it. It's going to be hot, but you know, I did running in Cyprus earlier this year, and we've had some warm days here as well, so hopefully it shouldn't be too uncomfortable. And that is almost the end of the run. So I have done, yeah, about 5 miles by the time I get back, so glad I got out, but you might be able to see it's starting to get a bit gloomy now, so you can definitely see that it's the darkness is coming a lot earlier, winter is coming, so that's why it would be nice to get to Spain and just prolong the summer for a little bit longer, at least another week anyway, which is good. It's been a bit of a smell of smoke through these woods over the last sort of week or so, and I do believe that they've had the fire brigade out a couple of times, as I understand it, there's been some young, let's call them scallywags, in the woods doing things they shouldn't, but there is a sort of lingering smell around, but hopefully with the rain we've had shouldn't cause too many problems. But yeah, not particularly pleasant when you're running through here. Anyway, right, that's enough of that. So home now, get myself packed as I'm woefully unprepared, and then off to Espana in the morning. Hello, so I'm actually going to end the vlog there. Normally I do until Sunday, but I am now from the future, so I'm actually in Spain already, and I'm going to do a total vlog from Spain and my training whilst I'm here. So I'm going to call it a day at Friday, and I will do another one next week, which will document the week from Spain. So that was my week with 7 weeks to go with Chicago Marathon. Track Monday, relays Wednesday, Good week, felt good, but on to Spain.